Good evening, Joanne. How are you doing?
I am doing pretty good. How are you?
Doing good, doing good. So, well, we have a common friend and Angela Allen.
Yes.
Yeah, she actually gave me a lot of support when I tried to start my own micro school.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that didn't work out. I think it's just kind of a little bit too early, kind of
Yeah.
ahead of time. Um, and the problem I run into that because my school is focused on entrepreneurship. Um,
Yeah.
I didn't realize at that time most moms are not comfortable uh, about the idea that to have their kids to become entrepreneurs. They want
Oh,
them
yeah.
to go the traditional route, just go to college and find a job, kind of,
Yeah.
and which in a way, uh, the world has changed. And if you look
Yes.
at what's happening now, I think we're close to half the workforce are freelancers, and
Yes.
and that will increase over the time because that's how the globalization and the technology has made in such a way that um, companies doesn't want to hire that many people. They either outsourcing uh, or they find the job, find the freelancers to the job. And,
Yes.
so if you want to work as a freelancer, then you have to learn how to be an entrepreneur.
Yes.
And also because the technology now it's become a lot easier to be an entrepreneur. You can pretty much start without almost zero kind of startup money.
Yes.
Yeah. Um,
Yeah.
so anyway, that's something I did not realize at the time,
Hmm.
but I'm still trying to do it, but I'm now kind of uh, more patient now to to wait
Yeah.
for the right moment.
Yes.
Yeah. Mhm. So,
Yeah.
and you talk about you right now. Do you have a micro school?
Yes, I do. It's a private homeschool.
Okay.
Um, I started homeschooling my own kids and probably I know my son probably about 93 with
Oh,
problems that was going on at our local school.
okay.
A lot of bullying. He was
Right.
coming home with bruises, different things, broken arm, just, and I just knew he came home and cried and he says, Mom, I can only take so much.
Mm,
And I knew then that I had to do something different. But
right.
it seems like when, even that early on, homeschool was still, I can't say something new, just still kind of in the tryout stages.
Right. Right.
No one was really sure about homeschool.
Right.
And, but we had a local homeschool group, which we joined, and it was really pretty good. And it just encouraged me
That's
to continue.
great. And how many kids do you have?
I have 4 online and I have 2 that are in class.
Oh, so
And
you,
yeah,
wow.
I teach all different grades. Yeah,
Okay.
I can teach kindergarten through 12th.
Okay. So here right now, for your student, what's their range from what grade to what grade?
3rd grade to 11th.
So how do you handle that? How do you handle that many different subjects?
Some of the subjects we do together, like science, history, um, and I just plan everything out so that the older kids will get their worksheets based on their level, and the
Hmm.
younger kids will kind of join us and do things their level, but do the same thing.
Oh, wow.
And it has worked pretty well. We do math and we do spelling separate
Mm,
because they're all at
yeah.
different levels there. But for the most part, literature we read, they answer questions. I ask them questions about the books we read and things, and um, it actually goes pretty well.
Oh, that's good. And
Yeah.
so, but you have to be able to teach language and math and other subjects, right?
Yes.
So
Yeah.
how do you handle that?
Um, Lots of times I have to. even refresh my memory. I've been out of school for a long time.
Mm.
So, and we had discussed too that when I went to high school, there was a lot of things in math in particular that we did not do that kids are doing nowadays.
Oh,
And so I've had to learn some things myself.
right, right, right.
So, but I have some really good kids who pick up on things pretty well.
Okay.
All my kids range in different deficits, learning disabilities and stuff. So I
Mm.
try to go at their level,
Mm.
but I do challenge them. If I see that they're able to get some work, I'll even start if I've got a third grader right now who's actually doing fourth grade math.
All right.
And then I have a sixth grader who's doing eighth grade spelling words. So I watch them really closely and evaluate that way. So if I see, that they're just really getting words, then I try to challenge them. I'll just move
Mm.
them up.
Right, right, right.
And math, if I have any particular problems with anything, I have a brother who is a math teacher.
Mm.
So he will, give me help. And there's lots of helps out there.
Right.
Um,
Do you use Khan Academy to?
I have personally myself used it
Okay.
for some guidance,
Mm-hmm.
but I have not really used it with my kids.
Oh, okay.
I have a lot of kids who, something to do in class, but I know some of my kids don't even have access to internet. So
Oh, really?
yeah, they only get the internet in class.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so, like, the kids come to you, is that every day from Monday to
Yes.
Friday? Okay.
Yeah. Every day, 8 a.m. till 3.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry,
Yep.
there is a glitch.
Oh, okay. Yes.
From
Every
8
day from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m.
3 p.m.
And
Okay.
we just treat it just like a regular school day if they were in public school. And everything, we set aside time for lunch.
Okay.
During the summer, or when they start in August or September,
Mhm.
when it's warm, I'll drive out to the park and have a little bit of time out there too and come back.
Okay.
We do field trips and stuff like that too. So
Oh,
I
wow.
try to keep it as interesting as I can.
That's good. So you have 6 students, right now.
Yes.
And how many can you handle?
I have been in my house for a while, in my living room, and the most that I've had at one time, I think, was 10 or 11,
Oh, wow.
all in class.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I
And
get parents who contact me from different places. Like I have a young gal online now that's up in your area in Greenwood.
okay.
So she, it helps them because I don't know how many micro schools are even around for parents to get a hold of.
Yeah, so far I think yours is the only one, at least I know of.
Mhm.
I mean, there's a lot of homeschool co-op here, and
Yeah.
so the kids only come together just like one day per week, but
Oh, okay.
like every day go there. So yours is really a micro school,
Yes.
not the traditional kind of homeschool. Thing.
Right.
Okay. And so the parents will pay you, right, for sending their kids to your school, to your.
Yes, I do. I do charge tuition.
Mhm.
I'm in I'm not in a very rich area, so I take that into consideration, the area I'm in.
Mhm.
And I do charge $50 a week per
Mhm.
child,
Mhm.
and that just helps me to keep up on ink, paper, my time, everything that goes on, like I said, we're in my home right now, so it does help with some of the utilities and things like that.
Right.
It helps me to buy things I would need for a science experiment or anything like that too.
Yeah. What have you tried actually talk to some churches, like say to have school there?
Um, our old church, we were there,
Okay.
uh, and then our pastor passed away,
Oh.
and things got a little
Oh, okay.
crazy, and we left and came here.
Okay.
I'm not exactly sure. Like I said, I'm in I hate to speak bad, but I'm in an area where people are kind of people, and they have their own sections, their own,
Huh.
there's not much,
Community?
yeah, community. That would be a good one.
Okay.
Yeah. And
Okay.
now if you're in the right clique or things like that, it would be a different story.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Mhm.
And so right now, I think with 6 students, you can handle that. If there's
Yes.
more, would that cause any problem? Is that do you need a place to expand your school?
If I had more than, I'd say, top 12 at
Mhm.
least, I
Mhm.
would probably have to have something bigger,
Right.
because I try to, kids will learn if there's space between them.
Right.
To get them too close, there's too much time for other activities or things like that between them. So
Okay. What does the older kids will the older kids help the younger ones?
they have, yes,
Okay. So it's
yes,
kind
I have had a great class.
of, okay. So it's kind of like
Yes,
the Montessori, right?
yeah.
That kind of
Well,
model.
yeah, kind of, yeah,
Okay. So the kids
yeah,
actually, I mean, that's kind of good. It means to have the younger ones interact with older kids.
yes,
That kind of help their kind of social,
yes. They have made good friends.
right. Like when I
Yeah,
remember when I was a little one, I like to hang out with older kids, right? Not my peer.
yeah, yeah.
And that way you can learn something, right?
Yeah. Well, I had a older, well, she was probably 16,
Mhm.
and she crocheted. So on
Oh,
her lunch, she liked to crochet. So
right.
she got some of the other kids interested in crocheting. So she was teaching them how to crochet too. So
Yes.
I thought that was pretty cool.
That is kind of cool. And kids
Yeah.
actually need to learn things like that. The crocheting,
Yeah.
some crafts, like do origami
Yes.
and all that, so right to
Yes.
really help them the hand-eye coordination.
Yes.
And it's also like they need to touch, right? They call them multi-sensory. They need to touch things as
Yes.
part of their, I mean, hear things, right? As part of the learning process. Uh,
Yes.
okay. So you said some kids are online. So what kind of online curriculums do you use?
Um, as far as what I mean by online is, because technically I'm not exactly set up for online. It
Mhm.
wasn't something I particularly ever thought I was going to do as far
Okay.
as online.
Okay.
But with the pandemic coming around and different things, um, some families feel like they want their child to stay at home, but
Oh,
they can't teach them
right.
because they don't want them to get sick and things like that.
I see.
So I just do FaceTime from Messenger on Facebook.
Okay.
We do FaceTime, and they're in class when I'm giving instructions and things, and they're able to see on a whiteboard what I'm doing.
Okay.
And things like that. And that's how we do it. As far as like if they were to get a certain worksheet or something like that, right now we're just doing the mailing system. I will get stuff together and mail it,
Right.
and then they mail me all the completed
Nice.
work,
Oh, okay.
kind of like that.
Okay. So you actually teach every class, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. It's just me.
Wow, that takes a lot of work.
Yeah. The planning
Yeah.
and getting to, yes.
Well, I guess homeschooling can prepare you for that, right? Homeschooling your own
Yes.
kids. Yeah.
Yes, it did.
Hmm.
Yes, it did. I enjoyed so much homeschooling my kids.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What kind of
But go
what
ahead.
curriculum do you use when you're homeschooling your own kid?
Um, I use the curriculum that I used with my kids. I've been through a lot of curriculum,
Right.
and I just felt like this is something that worked with my kids and something I really liked how it worked. So I just kept that, and that's what I use now. Um, I use all Saxon math
Mm-hmm.
because I like the repetition, and these kids um, they need that repetition.
Okay.
Um, some some will get it pretty quickly, some might not get it for a month or two, but till things click.
Okay.
I try to go at their
Right. Their
speed. So
pace.
that's why I like that it's constantly reminding them, is going through the repetition,
I see.
so that they're not, they'll pick up on it quicker because they're repeating it so much.
Right.
Grammar, I use Winston grammar.
Okay.
I've tried some of the other, but I like the Winston. It
Mhm.
comes with cards. They can go through cards, and we do lots of drills.
Mhm.
I will type out paragraphs, and they will have to go through and label, like, what's an article, what's a verb, different things like that. So we're constantly drilling on that.
Okay.
Because I do supplement the curriculum I do with other things, other worksheets and things too.
Okay. Yeah. Do you utilize the local library?
I have not since I've been at my home.
Okay.
I have not.
Mhm.
I do my personal library. I have 6 bookshelves
Oh,
right
wow.
now full of books. So they can, I try to get them as interested in reading as I can.
Right.
That's why I do literature the way I do.
Yeah.
We just pick a book, we answer comprehension questions and discuss and things, because that's probably, honestly, the only books they're going to read.
Mm.
I wish I had more interested in reading, but they're really not.
Oh, okay. Well,
They
not.
would rather
Yeah.
be doing their Xbox games and things.
Well, yeah, that's today we have that kind of distraction.
Yes.
In the old days, besides
Yeah.
the book to read, there's not much going on there.
No.
Maybe watch TV and
Yes.
uh, oh wow. And uh yeah, it's kind of neat. I think I really hope that there's a more kind of micro schools like yours kind of popping up, and it does like
Yes.
meet the needs. Some parents just like they have to work, they
Yes.
they
Yes.
or they don't feel like they are capable of teaching their own kids.
Right.
But I think
Right.
mostly probably it's more kind of economic, right?
Yeah.
They have to go out, they have to work.
Yeah.
And the public school right now is so bad, so they don't want their children in the public school.
Yeah. I just hope, even with everything that has happened, and with the problems in the public school, that parents could have more of an open mind to alternatives,
Mm-hmm.
and see the benefits, instead of, being so, maybe, not really scared of it, but standoffish, kind of just not sure, because I've had a lot of people are like, well, how does homeschool work? Well, it works just like public school. It's just, it's in your home, or it's somewhere else. And, we have to buy the same curriculum books too, and use different things too. So, they're getting the same education.
Right. Well, in terms of the legal side of it, as a micro school, um, what are the things you have to do to, is there any state standard or accreditation? I mean,
Right. When I started my homeschool, I contacted the Indiana State Board of Education
okay.
through the in.gov website, and I talked to them, and I told them what I wanted to do, and I told them that I'm charging,
Okay.
and I have registered with them. They have me as a private tutor.
Okay.
And in Indiana, the laws are very lax, actually.
Okay.
Any parent can hire anybody to teach their child. They can have anyone they want to teach their child. There's no regulation or anything like that. And if they wanted to start their own micro school, it's just saying, you really have to, only thing you have to have is 180 days.
Okay, so there is actually, in a way, there is really no law regarding micro schools.
No.
Right? So you register as a private tutor, but not
Yes.
Not as a school.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So in that way, the parents basically, in terms of legal side of it, so the parents actually, they are homeschooling, but they hire you as a private.
Yes,
Okay.
yes,
So that way they can withdraw them from public school,
yes,
send them to you. Okay.
yes. And I have been through all the corners. Um, I've been investigated by my own county.
Oh, really?
Yes, I have been investigated by 3 other counties because children were coming from there to here. So I can't, I think they're just like, oh, this can't be real,
Right.
and then they come in and investigate and find out it is real. And I'm in good standing with all of them because I do what I say I'm going to do. I'm teaching these
Right.
kids.
Okay.
Yeah, so they know I am. But that's kind of that just kind of expect that to follow.
Okay. And that's
When
good.
you,
That's good because
in a way, just expect it to follow, that you might have
Right.
to, say, hey, this is what I do, and
Right.
so
So do you have to like keep some kind of record? So just in case.
schoolwork, I keep some of the work behind so I can show what they're doing.
Mhm.
I keep their attendance records, I keep grades,
Mhm.
all that stuff. On the class page, I post a schedule every day saying what we're going to do that day,
Oh.
what we need to do and stuff like that too, so they all know.
Okay. Well,
Because I have a private group on Facebook.
okay. Okay. Do you have like websites, things like that too?
No, just my Facebook page
Just
right
like
now.
Facebook. Okay. So,
Yeah.
but that you can use as a record, right? If
Yes.
someone come in and wants to kind of
Yes.
check on you.
They call it auditing.
Right.
So if I ever get audited, I have to prove these kids are going to school and everything.
Right.
And
Right.
I am, when it comes to my kids, especially with parents and stuff too, I am very strict about attendance.
Right.
You
good.
have to be here.
Right. Well, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
So you basically are setting a precedent so that people can follow
Yeah.
your footstep. That's wonderful. Yeah. And also that means that if a teacher wants to quit from public school, they can start their
Yes.
own micro
Yes.
school just like yours.
Yes.
Okay.
There's really not much to do in it as far as any regulations. You can use any curriculum you want.
Mhm.
You can set your own hours. The only thing is you have to have 180 days.
Well, do you have to follow their standard? Like at the
I'm
school,
sorry.
at the school, it doesn't matter public or private. There is an Indiana standard. Like for example, math. There is
Yes.
so you follow that standard, right?
What I do is I get on to the state's webpage
Mhm.
where they tell you what the standards
Right.
are and what each grade should be learning. And
Right.
it doesn't really change from year to year.
Right.
So I have copies, like I have just packages of papers.
Mhm.
So if I have a 3rd grader, I'll pull that package out and then I'll just go through there to make sure we're doing those things and they're learning those things. So I do follow that.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Oh, wonderful.
Mhm.
Well, well, that's all I can think of.
Yes.
Definitely, I learned a lot from you because
Yeah.
really, when I started my micro school, I mean, I noticed the same thing. Is really there is no any particular law to,
Yeah.
I mean, you just like a private school,
Yes.
private, non credited.
Yes. Yeah. I'm not credited.
Not credited, but so you just follow like 180 days,
Yes.
It's kind of like
Yep.
basically kind of like you homeschool that many
Yes.
kids.
Yes.
I'm down to.
Yeah. But I did go to college. And I do have my bachelor's in educational studies, which allows me to teach kindergarten through
Oh, okay.
12th. I did not go for my master's just because in Indiana, you really don't even have to have a degree to teach.
Oh, really?
They don't require any degree unless you're doing, public school, then
Okay.
you have to have that.
Oh,
But
I
as far as what I'm doing,
uh-huh.
I don't even have to have my degree.
Okay.
I did it purposely because I think parents are like, well,
Yeah.
teachers have degrees and things they're taught, and I'm like, okay, well, I do.
Right,
I
right,
went 4 years. I know,
right.
so I could kind of say that as
So,
well, for my
so,
benefit.
okay. Do you have a teaching license?
No, I do not have the license. In the state of Indiana, in order for my license to be legal, I
Mm.
have to teach at least 20 hours a week in public school.
Oh, really?
Yes. And so with trying to teach in my own class,
Mm.
I would not have the time to
You got, yeah.
split that
Mm.
between public school. So I did not go ahead and get my teacher's license
Well,
on that.
well, if that's the case, what about teachers who teach in the private school?
I'm not sure how that works.
Okay,
Here, and I keep it this way because a lot of parents, that's what they want. I don't do anything with the government.
right.
I don't get any supplements or any specials from the government.
Mhm.
I'm just run strictly on my own because I prefer that,
Right.
because I know they have the whole voucher program going around, and
Mm.
they opened that voucher program to homeschool families.
Right.
And a lot
Oh,
of
really?
families were jumping on it, and we were protesting it, I guess you want
Okay.
to say, because if they were to accept it, the state then had the right to come in and tell you what curriculum you could use.
Right.
You now had to do all the testing. You didn't get the money free.
Right, 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 right.
So in order to keep my kids and my families free from all that, this is how I do it.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense because right now, Indiana Board of Education, they require you to teach social emotional learning. So there is a,
Yes.
yeah, definitely a string attached to it. Yeah, the best
Yes.
way is not taking money from the government.
Yes. Even if it looks good, don't do it.
Right, right, right. Yeah. I mean, once
Yeah.
you take it, yeah,
That they've got their foot in the door. Yes.
yeah, there is a always.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much.
Yes.
Yeah,
Anytime.
right. Do you have anything like you want to ask me?
Um, I'm just really glad that Angela introduced us.
Mhm.
We were talking about my class, and then she asked me if I knew you, and I said, no, I didn't. And the conversation just kind of went from there. So yeah, it was kind of like an open door.
Okay, that's
I
good.
felt like, yes.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I hope we can cooperate in the future.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm
Yes.
actually trying to develop my own math, write my own math textbooks.
Oh,
So I'm
awesome.
a big fan of like classic education.
Yeah.
I wanted to go back the way math was taught many years ago. Right now,
Yes.
the problem with math is that it's so fragmented, uh, and and it's just not fun anymore.
No,
Yeah. So I
no.
want the kids actually like. Uh, I get into math is because I someone just showed me or gave me a book, a math book, algebra book. That is very old. But
Uh-huh.
the problems are very interesting. So I kind of started from there. I just kind of hope that we can go back and make math
Yeah.
fun again, because that's what in the past is that it's really uh, well, not only fun but also teach kids how to reason, right?
Yes.
How to know what is true. You are right.
Yes.
How to think logically and critically, but not anymore. Today's math, especially when you're in a school, it's all over the place. I mean, if you go to the state website, look at standard. The standard is all over the place.
Yes.
It's like
Yes.
you don't. I mean, what is reason behind it? There's no structure there. They basically
Yes.
want to know everything.
Yes.
Yeah, and also
Yes.
textbooks were written for the standards. So the textbook has no relationship between chapter to chapter.
Yes.
It's kind of like you just learn something new every chapter. So the kids never really build up their foundation.
Yes.
Uh-huh. So,
Yes.
yeah.
I know some people don't like the Saxon math, but I like Saxon math for that fact.
Mhm.
They never, you're reviewing things you did in the first chapter,
Right.
over in the 50th chapter. So
Mhm.
that it's just constantly reviewing that. They're not really forgetting it.
Right.
And I have the opportunity that if I see them struggling in a certain area, we can just stop what we're doing and focus on that
Right. Right.
and then move on.
Yeah. And also you'll be able to go back, right?
Yes.
I mean, if you say,
Yes.
okay, struggle here is because
Yes.
you didn't understand back then, you can go back to there. Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, that is very, I mean, that's, I think, the advantage of a micro school like yours.
Yes.
Yeah, because in public school, you teach at a certain grade level,
Yes.
and you always get new kids come in, so you really don't understand them.
Yes.
Once they don't stuck, you just don't have time to figure out
Yes.
where to get
Yeah,
stuck.
it is.
Yeah, but for
Yes.
you know them. You've been with them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Yeah,
Well,
I wish that there are more parents and also teachers you really get into this
yes.
thing. Yeah,
Yes.
I think that's
That
the
would be, that would be, that would just make me happy. Not because I would get all the kids, but just to see parents taking that initiative to get
right,
involved in their children's education.
right,
Yeah,
exactly,
because you see parents, that just drop their kids off and that's all they know.
right.
And it's sad.
Well, the thing is, like, that's how their parents treat them, right? So they really don't
Yes.
have a good role model. They don't know how to
Yes.
be.
Yes. And probably, in school, way back,
Yeah,
you probably didn't have to worry
right,
what your child was learning like we do now.
right, no,
And so, and my nugget for parents is to get involved.
right,
Even if your child is in public school,
right.
get involved and stay involved.
Yeah, exactly,
Don't just leave them. Don't just go to the door and leave them,
right.
because, honestly, we don't know everything that goes on.
We don't. And so far, based on what happened in the past 2 years, I think most parents realize that the school actually lied to them. The school was not
Yes.
honest
Yes.
to them. Yeah. Well, thank you so much.
Yes. Thank you. All
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Wish you all the best. I'm
right.
sure we'll talk more in the future.
All right. You too. All
Okay. Bye.
right. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.